Hey, Freaky Fanatics, welcome back. You ready for another couple stories that'll make you wonder if reality is maybe just a glitch in the Matrix?
Absolutely. I'm Julia, and the stories we've got today are truly addictive.
We're talking about those moments where the ordinary cracks open
Yeah.
and the extraordinary spills right in.
Right.
First up, a story for all the gamers out
Oh,
there.
yeah?
Ever wish you could just step into your favorite online world?
Be careful what you wish for.
Exactly. This story begins with two best friends, Alex and Ben, hardcore gamers, in the middle of a Friday night raid in Eternia Online.
Oh, I love it.
Pizza boxes, empty energy drinks,
Yeah.
the scene.
Classic.
They're facing the final boss. Tension is high, victory's in sight.
Ah, the final boss fight.
But as they're about to deliver the killing blow, the screen glitches. I mean, full-on freak-out mode.
Oh, no.
Lights go out, and when they flicker back on, they're not staring at a monitor anymore.
Wait, they're actually inside the game.
Inside the game, as their avatars, Alex is Rivenheart the Barbarian. All those muscles and epic gear he'd painstakingly built.
Oh, so he's living the dream. Super ripped and ready to crush it.
You'd think. But turns out years of button mashing doesn't exactly make you a real-life warrior.
Right.
And poor Ben, he finds himself as Delara the Elven Enchantress.
Oh, no.
Not exactly the badass he envisioned.
Okay, I would love to see the look on his face.
I know, right?
Can you imagine him, like, trying to trade gear in real life?
Oh, totally.
Oh, that's so funny.
But before they can even process this, they hear a scream.
Oh, no.
A woman is being attacked by a pack of goblins.
Oh, jeez.
Not the pixelated kind, but like snarling, snapping, definitely not friendly goblins.
Yeah, those are the worst.
So they whip out their gaming skills and jump into action.
Yeah, what happens?
Alex tries. He charges in with a heroic battle cry straight out of the game
Awesome.
and completely wipes out Faceplant in the mud.
Oh, no.
Turns out real-life combat is a bit more complicated than hitting the attack button.
Yeah.
Ben, on the other hand, tries to channel his inner mage.
Let me guess, it doesn't go as planned.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Instead of a devastating spell, he accidentally summons a pizza.
What?
A perfectly cheesy pepperoni pizza right in the middle of the fight.
Okay, that's amazing. What did the goblins even do with that?
They're completely thrown. Suddenly, pizza is way more interesting than attacking,
That's hilarious.
which gives the woman, who is surprisingly capable herself, the chance to fight back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's when they realize it's Anya, a major character from the game's main quest.
Wow, so they're not just in the game.
Yeah.
They're right in the middle of the storyline. What happens next?
Well, their adventure's just getting started.
Okay.
They quickly learn that gaming logic doesn't really apply in this world.
Right.
Ben's enchantments keep producing flowers instead of combat spells.
Oh, that's so funny.
Alex keeps trying to pause the game to check the wiki.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And there is definitely no respawn button.
Oh.
Talk about a reality check. They have to adapt fast if they want to survive.
Right.
And they do. They start using their game knowledge in creative ways.
Okay.
Ben figures out that coffee and energy drinks, real-life puffs basically,
Yeah.
actually boost his focus and his magical ability.
Hi, that's awesome.
Alex, even though he's still clumsy, picks up some actual fighting techniques.
Nice.
So they're using their knowledge in a whole new context.
Yeah, I love that. That's what I love about these stories.
Oh,
They
yeah.
make you think differently about the things that you know.
Totally.
Yeah.
And as they journey through this familiar yet strange world,
Yeah.
they bond with Anya, who's way more than just a quest giver.
Oh, cool.
She's tough, she's witty, and she keeps them grounded,
Oh, they need that,
which they desperately need.
for sure.
She's the perfect guide for them, someone who knows the ropes and can help them navigate this crazy situation.
Yeah.
So do they ever face the big bad boss from the game?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You bet they do. The final showdown is against a terrifying lava-spewing dragon.
Oh, my gosh.
It's epic, it's chaotic, and just when it seems like all hope is lost.
Oh.
Ben has a moment of brilliance.
Don't tell me he summons another pizza.
Not this time. He manages to conjure a bucket of iced coffee.
Iced coffee. Okay, I'm officially intrigued.
Turns out this particular dragon has a severe caffeine allergy.
Oh, no.
So Alex, with one well-aimed toss, douses the beast in iced coffee.
You're kidding. What happened?
The dragon shrieks, goes into full-on caffeine freakout mode, and flees for its life.
No way.
They defeated the big bad boss with a bucket of iced coffee.
That is the most unexpected and hilarious dragon-slaying tactic I've ever heard. Who knew iced coffee could be so powerful?
It just goes to show you that even gamers can be heroes in the most unusual ways.
Totally.
But the adventure doesn't end there. With the quest complete, the world shimmers, and they find themselves back in Alex's basement, controllers in hand.
Back to reality.
Back to reality. It must feel pretty dull after all that.
I bet.
You said it. The game seems flat and predictable now. And Ben? He decides real-life pizza is way more satisfying.
I can't blame him. So they got a taste of the extraordinary, learned some valuable and hilarious lessons along the way. I bet they won't look at gaming the same way again.
Definitely not. And that, my friends, is just the first story.
What? There's more.
Ready for another dose of freaky?
Hit me with it. I'm ready for anything after that iced coffee dragon slayer move.
All right, then buckle up. This next story is about Lynn, a bookish science nerd who'd rather be in a library than on a field trip until fate throws her a curveball in the form of a dragon egg.
Hold on, a dragon egg? Okay, now I really need to hear this. Where do we even begin?
Well, it all starts with a dreaded geology field trip to a dusty old cave. You know, the kind of trip where you'd rather be anywhere else.
Ugh, yeah, I've been there.
But while everyone else is goofing off, Lynn spots something unusual. A perfectly round, glowing rock, half buried in the dirt.
So she thinks it's just a cool rock for her project. I have a feeling this rock is going to cause some serious chaos.
You guessed it. Back home, under her trusty microscope, the rock cracks open.
Oh, no.
And out pops a baby dragon.
Whoa. A dragon. What does she do with the dragon? Especially in, like, a tiny apartment.
Panic, obviously. Her apartment is barely big enough for her book collection.
Right.
But the dragon is just too cute to resist.
Oh, no.
Wobbly flight attempts, adorable flame sneezes. He's basically a grumpy, fire-breathing duckling.
That's adorable.
She names him Sparks, and her life is officially turned upside down.
Okay, I need to hear more about this. How do you even hide a growing dragon in a tiny apartment?
It's a comedy of errors, let me tell you. Neighbors blame the smoke alarm on her terrible cooking.
Oh, my God.
She finds dragon scales instead of pet fur.
Oh, that's so funny.
But it's not all fun and games.
Uh-oh, what happens? Does the dragon get out of control?
Not exactly. It's something weirder. Lynn starts having these vivid nightmares.
Oh, no.
Ominous shadows, clawed figures whispering her name.
Creepy.
It's like she stumbled into something bigger, darker than just having a pet dragon.
That's creepy. Are the nightmares connected to Spark somehow?
That's what she's trying to figure out. And then she finds an old history book that seems to have the answers.
Okay.
A book about dragon riders.
Dragon riders. Like legendary heroes who ride dragons into battle. You're not saying.
Oh, yes. According to the book, there's an ancient prophecy, fallen shadows, and a seeker of forgotten truths.
Wait a second.
Lynn, the bookish science nerd, is apparently the chosen one.
No way.
Destined to be a dragon rider and fight against some ancient evil.
Hold on. That's a pretty huge leap from a science project to a prophecy.
Yeah.
I bet she's freaking out.
You bet she is. But the nightmares are getting worse. Sparks is growing at an alarming rate, and his flight practice is terrifying.
Yikes.
She knows she can't hide from this anymore.
Wow, so she's being pushed way outside her comfort zone. But it sounds like she's got the makings of a hero, even if she doesn't realize it yet. So does she actually embrace this whole dragon rider destiny?
She doesn't really have a choice. Those shadowy figures from her nightmares, they're real, and they attack her and Sparks at the abandoned quarry where they've been practicing their flying.
Oh, wow. That escalated quickly. How does she even fight back against creatures from her nightmares?
This is where things get really interesting.
Hold on. Don't leave me hanging. We'll have to pick up Lynn's story in part 2 of this episode. What an amazing start, though. I can't believe she's facing down creatures from her nightmares.
Right. We'll be back with the rest of the story soon. Until then, keep it freaky, folks. Don't forget to rate and follow for more freaky stories.
Welcome back to the Freaky Stories podcast, where we left off with Lynn facing down creatures straight out of her nightmares.
And those shadow creatures are not messing around. But Lynn, our accidental dragon rider, isn't just going to stand there and take it.
Right. What's so fascinating here is how her initial fear just turns into action.
Totally. She grabs her secret weapon, a fire extinguisher.
Wait, a fire extinguisher? Against nightmare creatures. Is she going to bore them to death with, like, safety regulations?
Not quite. She's modified it to shoot dragon fireproof foam.
Okay, that's clever. Using her science smarts to battle the supernatural.
Exactly. And Sparks, even though he's still young, he's ready to fight alongside her. He's got fire in his veins, loyalty in his eyes. They make a pretty awesome team.
I bet. They're definitely not backing down. So how does this crazy battle play out? We've got a science nerd with a fire extinguisher, a baby dragon breathing fire, and shadowy creatures straight out of a nightmare. It's like something out of a comic book.
It's intense. They're outnumbered. But Lynn uses her knowledge of the quarry to her advantage. She leads the creatures on a chase, luring them into a narrow crevice.
Ooh, that's smart. Using the environment to her advantage.
And then, boom, she triggers a rock slide, trapping the creatures inside.
Wow. She outsmarted them. I'm starting to think those shadow creatures underestimated Lynn. She's got brains and courage.
She's proving that you don't always need brute force to win a fight. Sometimes a little ingenuity goes a long way. But even though they won this round, I have a feeling this isn't over yet.
Right. The prophecy, the nightmares, it feels like there's a bigger story unfolding here.
And you're right. As the dust settles, a mysterious figure emerges from the wreckage, an elderly woman with a raven perched on her staff. She looks at Lynn and says, "Well done, but the prophecy has only just begun."
Ooh, chills. Who is this woman? And what does she mean the prophecy has just begun?
Well, that's where things get even more interesting. It turns out this woman is Anya,
Wait, Anya?
the woman they rescued from the goblins earlier.
What? The damsel in distress is a key player in all of this. There's always more to people than meets the eye, isn't there?
Exactly. And Anya is more than just a mentor. She's a dragon rider herself, from a long line of protectors who guard the balance between the human world and a hidden realm of magic.
So Lynn isn't just dealing with a random dragon and some shadowy figures. There's a whole hidden world she's been thrown into.
A world with a history, a prophecy, and an ancient evil that's been awakened.
Okay, now the stakes are getting seriously high. Lynn's gone from a bookworm to a protector of realms. That's a pretty big responsibility.
No kidding. Anya starts training Lynn, teaching her about the history of dragon riders, their powers, their enemies. The shadow creatures they fought were just the beginning. There's a much greater evil out there, a force of darkness that wants to consume the world.
And Lynn, as the chosen dragon rider, is the only one who can stop it.
But she's not in this for glory or destiny. She's fighting for her friends, for her world, for the life she's come to cherish, even with all the dragon-sized chaos.
It's that personal connection that makes her a real hero. She's not just following orders, she's fighting for what matters to her.
And as she trains with Anya, she learns more about herself, about her own strength and courage. She's not just learning how to fight, she's learning how to believe in herself.
It's like the dragon sparks ignited something within her, a spark of her own ready to blaze.
I love that. A spark of her own. But as Lynn's training intensifies, the whispers of the prophecy grow louder and the shadow creatures become bolder in their attacks. She knows that the final showdown is inevitable.
The fate of the world rests on the shoulders of a bookish science nerd and her baby dragon. Talk about pressure.
It's a classic battle between good and evil, light and darkness, but with a twist. And we'll have to wait until part 3 to see how it all plays out.
Don't worry, freaky fanatics. We'll be back soon with the epic conclusion to Lynn's story. And until then, keep it freaky.
And don't forget to rate and follow the show for more freaky stories.
Freaky fanatics, welcome back to the final chapter of Lynn's journey. It's been a wild ride from a dusty cave to a full-blown prophecy.
I know, right?
But here we are, the final showdown. The shadow creatures are closing in. Their attacks are getting bolder, more desperate.
They know they're running out of time.
Their leader, that being of pure darkness, is about to make his move.
He's going all in.
And Lynn, our accidental dragon rider, she's ready. She's been training with Anya, honing her skills, learning to control her powers, and preparing for this very moment.
I bet she's still terrified.
Oh, absolutely. But that's what makes her so relatable. She's facing her fears head on, even when the odds are stacked against her.
Yeah.
It's that courage that makes her a true hero.
So the stage is set. The world is holding its breath. The shadow creatures are swarming. Their eyes are burning with malice.
Sparks roars. His fire is painting the sky with defiance.
He's grown so much since we first met him.
I know, it's amazing.
He's a force of nature, just like his rider.
Totally.
Lynn, mounted on Sparks, she leads the charge. She's not just fighting for herself anymore.
Right.
It's for her friends, for the world, for the future.
For everyone.
And for all the bookworms out there who've ever dreamed of being the hero of their own story.
I love that.
The battle explodes. It's chaos, fear, shadows a whirlwind of claws and spells. But Lynn, she's not just reacting.
Right.
She's thinking, strategizing.
She's using her brain.
She's using everything she's learned from Anya, from her science books, from her own instincts.
Wow.
She's a warrior scientist in action.
The best kind.
Remember that modified fire extinguisher?
Oh, yeah, it's about to make a comeback.
It's about to make a comeback.
I knew it. What does she do this time?
Extinguish the shadows. Not quite. She remembers what Anya taught her about shadows, their vulnerability to light. And then something from her science books clicks.
Oh, I love when those aha moments happen.
Me too. It's like all the pieces fall into place.
Totally.
Exactly. She directs sparks to fly in a specific pattern, weaving through the battlefield.
Smart.
As they fly, she uses the fire extinguisher to reflect and amplify the light from Spark's fire.
She's creating a weapon out of light. That's brilliant.
It's a blinding beam of pure energy, and it strikes the shadow leader with the force of a supernova.
Whoa. What happens to the leader?
He screams, his darkness dissolving like mist. His power fades, and the remaining shadow creatures, they panic.
They can sense their leader's weakness.
Their attacks falter, their formations crumble.
They're falling apart.
They flee back into the shadows, defeated. The battle is over. The light has won. And Lynn, our accidental dragon rider, she saved the world.
Wow, what a moment. She must be feeling so many things. Relief, exhaustion, pride.
Oh, I bet. But I bet it's more than just that. It's a realization. She wasn't chosen just to fulfill a prophecy. She was chosen to become who she was always meant to be.
To find her own strength, her own power, her own spark.
Exactly. And now, as the world breathes a collective sigh of relief, Lynn knows her journey is far from over.
This was just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. She's a dragon rider, a protector, a symbol of hope for a world that needs it now more than ever.
So true.
And with Sparks by her side, they soar into the future, ready for whatever comes next.
What an incredible story. It makes you realize that even the most ordinary person can become extraordinary when faced with the extraordinary.
And that sometimes the most unlikely heroes are the ones who save the day. So, Freaky Fanatics, that's another freaky story for you.
2 for today, actually.
A tale of courage, friendship, and the power of believing in yourself, even when the world throws dragons and prophecies your way.
I love it.
We'll be back soon with more stories that will make you question everything you thought you knew about reality. Until then, keep those imaginations running wild. And remember, reality can be a lot stranger and a lot more exciting than fiction. Don't forget to rate and follow the show for more freaky stories.